When you wake up every morning, do you realize that life has not come with any guarantee? It is a gift. The breath in your body is borrowed. The time ticking away is borrowed. But what you will become with this gift, that is your responsibility. Many people live as though tomorrow is promised, but tomorrow is not promised. The only thing promised is the consequence of the choices you make today. Every action, every thought, every word is a seed. And seeds do not lie. What you plant today is what you must harvest tomorrow. So ask yourself, what kind of future are you planting? Are you planting carelessly, anger, laziness, excuses? Or are you planting consciously, discipline, clarity, vision? The future you owe yourself is not built by chance, it is built by design. If you do not design your life, circumstances will, and circumstances are never kind. They will push you, pull you, break you, unless you learn to stand with awareness. Look around. Everything that exists today, the buildings, the inventions, the technology, was once only a thought in somebody's mind. They remembered the future they owed themselves and they walked toward it. Slowly, step by step, thought became reality. So do not underestimate your own power. Within you lies the architect of tomorrow. But remember, if you do not take command of your mind will command you. And then, instead of creating a future, you will be dragged into it unprepared. The question is not, will you have a future? Of course you will. The question is, will it be the future you owe yourself or the one you simply stumbled into? Today, this very moment is the doorway. Live with such awareness that every choice aligns with the life you truly deserve. Let your words shape kindness. Let your actions build strength. Let your thoughts open possibilities. When you remember the future you owe yourself, you will live this day with intensity, with devotion, with clarity. And when that day comes, when you stand in your own tomorrow, you will not regret. You will bow to yourself and say, yes, this is the life I was meant to live. What you plant today is what you must harvest tomorrow. This truth is not poetic. It is not symbolic. It is the very mechanics of life. Every single thought that passes through your mind, every word that falls from your lips, every action that comes from your body is a seed. Most people imagine that seeds are only the big decisions, career choices, marriages, investments. But life is not shaped by one or two grand moments. It is shaped by the hundreds of small seeds you plant every single day without even realizing it. The way you respond to someone's anger, the way you treat your own body, the discipline or the carelessness with which you use your time. These are all seeds silently dropped into the soil of tomorrow. If you plant anger again and again, do not expect peace to grow for you later. If you plant excuses day after day, do not expect opportunity to stand at your door in the future. If you plant clarity, patience, and effort, then life has no choice but to return them to you in a form that is tangible and undeniable. The universe does not cheat you, nor does it favor you. It simply reflects you. The soil never says, I like this farmer, so I will grow mangoes for him even though he planted thorns. The soil just grows what is put into it. In the same way, life will not create joy, health, or success for you if the seeds of your daily living are rooted in laziness, bitterness, or unconsciousness. People often complain that life is unfair, that destiny is cruel, that luck has betrayed them. But what they call unfairness is often the harvest of seeds they themselves have sown. The man who neglects his health cannot curse fate when illness arrives. The student who spends his nights in distraction cannot cry out at destiny when failure comes. The worker who puts in minimal effort should not feel surprised when opportunity passes him by. Life is simply giving back what was put into it with interest. That is why awareness of your planting is the most essential quality of a conscious human being. Each moment is a seed moment. You may think your small actions do not matter, but every small action is a message you are writing to your future self. The way you choose to wake up in the morning, whether you greet the day with gratitude or complaint, is a seed. The way you speak to the people around you, whether you lift them up or pull them down, is a seed. The way you handle stress, whether you face it with courage or collapse into blame, is a seed. These tiny seeds may look insignificant today, but they will not remain tiny. In time, they will grow into the environment, the relationships, the health, and the opportunities that surround you. The beauty of this truth is that you are never trapped. Even if your past plantings were careless, today gives you fresh soil. You can begin to plant differently. If yesterday was wasted in confusion, today you can sow clarity. If yesterday was full of anger, today you can sow calmness. If yesterday was built on excuses, today you can sow responsibility. The soil of life does not carry grudges. It is always ready to return to you exactly what you place in it. When you truly grasp this, you stop looking for shortcuts and miracles. You stop waiting for someone else to change your life. You begin to see that the most miraculous power is already in your hands, the power to plant. You understand that planting laziness but expecting success is a kind of madness. You see that planting carelessness but expecting health is a form of blindness. You realize that planting doubt but expecting trust is a contradiction. Once this realization sinks deep, you no longer waste energy complaining or blaming. You simply focus on planting what you want to harvest. And planting is not about dramatic gestures. It is about consistency. A farmer does not throw one seed and walk away expecting a forest. He plants daily, waters daily, tends daily, and trusts that time will take care of the rest. In the same way, if you want peace, you must plant patience every day. If you want strength, you must plant discipline every day. If you want success, you must plant effort every day. The scale may look small in the moment, but time magnifies it beyond your imagination. Even the way you think is a form of planting. Thoughts repeated become attitudes. Attitudes repeated become behaviors. Behaviors repeated become destiny. A person who constantly thinks of failure is planting the seed of hesitation, and hesitation will choke opportunities tomorrow. A person who constantly thinks of gratitude is planting openness, and openness will attract abundance tomorrow. Life is not happening randomly. It is simply echoing the quality of what you have put into it. This understanding also demands responsibility. Once you know the future is shaped by what you plant today, you cannot live casually. You cannot say words carelessly because you know each word has a harvest. You cannot waste your time in meaningless distractions because you know each wasted hour is a seed you will regret tomorrow. You cannot treat people with arrogance because you know each insult will grow into isolation tomorrow. Responsibility becomes natural not because someone has forced it on you, but because you clearly see the mechanics of cause and effect. What you plant today is what you must harvest tomorrow. The truth is so simple that many ignore it, looking instead for complicated answers. But if you want to know where your life will be in 5 years, in 10 years, you do not need an astrologer. Just look at what you are planting right now. Look at the quality of your thoughts, the quality of your actions, the quality of your discipline. These are the seeds already taking root. The harvest will not fail to arrive. If you do not design your life, circumstances will. Life is not waiting for your permission to unfold. It is already happening moment by moment. Each breath, each passing hour, each turn of the day is carving a path forward. If you are not conscious about where you are going, you will simply be carried along by the current of circumstances. And circumstances are not designed for your growth, for your joy, or for your fulfillment. They are simply forces, social expectations, economic pressures, random events, that push you whichever way they choose. To live without design is to live as a passenger in a vehicle with no destination, moving only where the road bends, where the traffic forces, where the accidents happen. Designing your life means becoming the driver, not the passenger. It means setting a direction, choosing what you want your life to stand for, and moving with intention. Without that, Life will happen, yes, but it will not happen as you wish. Many people spend their days chasing one distraction after another, reacting to whatever comes their way. They are busy, but not purposeful. They are moving, but not arriving. This is what happens when you do not design: movement without meaning, action without alignment, achievement without fulfillment. Circumstances are powerful only over those who have no inner clarity. Imagine a leaf floating on a river. Wherever the current flows, the leaf flows. If the river bends, the leaf bends. If the river crashes over rocks, the leaf crashes too. That is how most people live. Pulled by other people's opinions, pushed by fears, dragged by accidents of time. But if you are like a boat with a sail and a rudder, then you can harness the current itself. The same river that tossed the leaf around can now be navigated with skill and direction. Life does not change, your position in it changes. The tragedy is that most people design everything outside themselves, but never design themselves. They design buildings, businesses, strategies, vacations, even the layout of their homes, but they leave their own lives to chance. They wake up and do what circumstances demand, work because bills are due, eat because hunger comes, rest because exhaustion forces it. They rarely pause to ask, is this the life I truly want to live, or is this just what happened to me? Without that pause, without that inner design, circumstances become the silent architect of their destiny. To design your life does not mean controlling every detail of existence. Life has its unpredictability, its surprises, its mysteries. But design means clarity about your direction. It means knowing what kind of human being you wish to become, what kind of experiences you wish to create, what kind of contributions you wish to leave behind. With such clarity, even when storms come, you do not lose your way. Without such clarity, even a gentle wind can throw you into confusion. Consider how circumstances shape people unconsciously. A child grows in a certain household, absorbs the values, the limitations, the fears of that environment, and then carries them unknowingly for the rest of life. A worker takes a job just for now, and 20 years later finds themselves trapped in a life they never wanted but never questioned. A person faces hardship, and instead of designing strength from it, they allow bitterness to design their personality. This is what happens when you surrender your life to circumstances. They write the script for you, and you become a character instead of the author. But if you design your life, you use every circumstance as material, not as a master. If you meet failure, you design resilience out of it. If you meet loss, you design depth out of it. If you meet success, you design responsibility out of it. This circumstance itself is never final. What you design from it determines whether it becomes a stepping stone or a stumbling block. Designing your life requires awareness, but it also requires courage. It means stepping away from the comfort of drifting and facing the responsibility of choice. It means saying, this is not enough just because it happened. I will create what must be. Many avoid this courage because it is easier to blame fate, society, or luck. When you design, you remove the excuse of fate. You say, whatever the world may throw, I will still create consciously. That is a heavier burden, but it is also the only path to freedom. If you live by design, you do not ask, what will happen to me? You ask, what will I make happen? This shift transforms the entire experience of living. Work stops being a compulsion and becomes an expression. Relationships stop being accidents and become conscious connections. Growth stops being occasional and becomes your very way of being. Without design, life can feel long yet empty. With design, even a short life feels full and rich. The measure is not in years lived, but in the quality consciously created. When you design your life, every day, no matter how ordinary, becomes a brick in a structure you are proud to build. But when you leave it to circumstances, every day becomes just another stone washed away by the current. Circumstances will always exist: economic shifts, societal norms, accidents, health, the unpredictability of others. But whether they break you or build you depends entirely on whether you are drifting or designing. If you do not design your life, circumstances will, and their design will never be for your highest good. Their design will be random, chaotic, and indifferent. Only your own conscious design can align your actions with your vision and your vision with your deeper possibility. The future you owe yourself is built by conscious choice, not by chance. Every single moment offers you a choice, whether you notice it or not. You choose how to respond, how to think, how to act, and each of these choices adds to the architecture of your tomorrow. Most people believe their future depends on luck, circumstances, or the generosity of others. But the truth is that every layer of the future is laid down by the choices you make in the present. Chance may open a door, but only conscious choice allows you to walk through it and create something meaningful. Living by chance is like rolling dice with your life, hoping that somehow the right number will come up. You may feel excitement in the uncertainty, but uncertainty without direction eventually becomes suffering. Conscious choice, on the other hand, is not about eliminating uncertainty, but about giving yourself clarity in the middle of it. It is about knowing who you want to be and choosing in alignment with that, regardless of whether life is easy or difficult. Chance throws you into situations, but conscious choice determines what you do with them. Two people can face the same setback. One chooses to learn and grow, the other chooses to complain and collapse. The setback is the same, but the futures created are completely different. This is why chance cannot be trusted as the builder of your life. It may place stones in your path, but whether those stones become stepping stones or stumbling blocks depends entirely on the choices you make. The power of conscious choice lies in its ability to shape not only events, but the very character of who you are. When you choose discipline over indulgence, you are not just shaping a result. You are shaping yourself into someone capable of greater results. When you choose kindness over anger, you are not only improving a relationship, you are turning yourself into a person who carries peace wherever you go. The future is not some external landscape waiting for you. It is the unfolding of who you become through your choices. Living unconsciously is the path of least resistance. It is easy to let habits dictate your day, to let emotions dictate your reactions, to let distractions dictate your focus. But such unconscious living builds a future of mediocrity and regret. Conscious choice demands awareness. It demands that you pause before acting, that you examine your motives, that you see the long-term consequence of short-term impulses. It is not always comfortable, but it is the only way to build a future worth living. The future you owe yourself is not the future that feels easiest in the moment. It is the one aligned with your highest potential. Many people trade their future for comfort in the present. They choose distraction instead of discipline, resentment instead of forgiveness, shortcuts instead of commitment. These choices may feel easier, but they accumulate into a heavy burden later. Conscious choice may feel demanding in the moment, but it gives you freedom tomorrow. Every act of discipline today is a gift to your future self. Every act of clarity today is a gift to your future self. Every act of courage today is a gift to your future self. Chance may decide when the sun rises, when the rain falls, when the world shifts in ways beyond your control. But conscious choice decides whether you use the sunlight to grow, whether you use the rain to cleanse, whether you use the shifts of the world as opportunities to expand. The external world will never be fully predictable, but your choices can always be deliberate. And in that deliberateness lies your true power. When you look closely at those who live with fulfillment and depth, you will see that their lives are not the product of random luck. They are the product of repeated conscious choices, often small ones, made with consistency and awareness. A single choice may not seem to matter in isolation, but choices are cumulative. Choosing patience one day may not transform your life, but choosing patience every day will transform your character, and transformed character will transform your destiny. The future you owe yourself will never arrive through passive waiting. It will not come because circumstances favored you, because chance smiled on you, or because others carried you there. It will only come if you build it brick by brick, choice by choice, moment by moment. The quality of your tomorrow is already contained in the quality of your choices today.